What's up? Welcome back to Nowstalgia. Dave here with a review of Gen V Season 1 on Amazon Prime Video. The Boys spin-off series concluded its first season, and I have to say, I was quite satisfied with Gen V. I was pretty optimistic going in, just thought the concept of a Vought superhero school set in the Boys universe made perfect sense as a spin-off, and more than anything else, the world of the Boys, as it's been realized by Amazon. Just a really fun place to be with. Of course, it's a series that's dark and graphic and crass and very violent, of course, but also has, I think, poignant, if obvious, if overt, social commentary, political satire. It's definitely one of the more intriguing superhero things we have right now in the world of never-ending superhero content, right? And yeah, I think my only beef with Gen V through its first season, and it has been renewed for season 2, not too big of a surprise, but pretty cool that we know that now we'll have the Boys back for season 4 next year and Gen V back for season 2 in 2025. Really happy to keep the ball rolling here. It's a good time. My only real beef with Gen V season 1 is we kind of very quickly moved beyond the central concept and conceit of Gen V. We don't, I thought there was just a lot of meat on the bone for superheroes at college, and we kind of quickly leave all that behind as there's a lot of plot movement with season 1, and unsurprisingly, Vought is up to no good, and Godolphin University, God U, where the Gen V students are attending, our central setting for the series. Unsurprisingly, there's bad things going on there, and our lead protagonists quickly get involved with that and uncovering things. And things really come to a head, and basically the status quo is completely flipped by the end of season 1, and we know that season 2 will be starting in a very different place. Not that that's unexpected per se, I just wish it took us a little longer to get there personally, because I just think there was a lot of fun potential for more stuff. The hijinks of college kids fucking and killing each other and binge drinking and all of that stuff. It's very slight on this series, and I just would have liked to see more of that. I just think that's very entertaining stuff, and in the world of the Boys, it would have been right at home. Alas, we didn't really get that, and that's kind of my one big note here. But ultimately, I think you have a really compelling cast of characters. Jazz Sinclair as Marie really carries it. Of course, she's, I think, really made an impression as a character in the Boys' world now. Marie notably taking a blast to the face, to the chest, straight up from Homelander in the finale, and living to tell the tale as we see at the very end. No small feat. Also, just her ability to basically bloodbend, very intriguing visual for the series, and just, I think, compelling powers. This Gen V presented thought concept of, I think, self-harm at times and dealing with grief. I don't know if it totally handled that all that well, but nonetheless, I think the Marie character was definitely a success. And then the other characters, in support, I think the best character of the bunch has to be Emma, played by Lizzie Broadway. Again, her ability to purge to make herself small and eat to make herself big. Again, a bit on the nose with the commentary, but I think the performance was good. I really liked the character. Chance Perdomo as Andre, and Maddie Phillips as Kate. Pretty solid. I like them in the bunch, especially what happened at the end with Kate. The revelations about what she was up to with her telepath and mind control abilities. That was fun for the plot. And then, Jordan being the gender shifter character played by Derek Lutt and London Thor. Really liked that. I think there's a lot more potential for that character for sure. I think on one hand, you get some familiar beats with Gen V, like we see Victoria Newman show up in kind of a cameo role, one episode role, and the fate of the Vought, the God U doctor, when he's alone in a parking garage with Victoria Newman, the secret soup, who we already know has powers. You kind of saw that one coming, right? That wasn't anything new. Um, I really like the episode with Tech Knight, the true crime TV host, who was basically a front to cover up stuff and meld public opinion. That was a really compelling episode. Of course, at the end with the finale, Homelander cameo and then a Butcher cameo post credits. Um, really effective, especially because that's where you get the status quo flip. Godew's basically done after this massacre, and Homelander has blamed our lead protagonists who were on the right side of things, really keeping the continuing feeling of how we were with The Boys season 3, right, where Homelander is basically dictating public opinion, and then and the political satire of it all. We know who Homelander represents. We know what his media network represents, etc. That's all pretty exciting because the series feels so integrated with The Boys. But again, I wish we could have spent more time getting to this point. The stuff with the woods, as kind of the central conflict, I thought it was interesting. I guess once we got there, my only note was that Golden Boy's brother, Sam, not the most fun presence to be with, and obviously the flip at the end where he becomes an antagonist. I don't know, like I wasn't the biggest fan of spending so much time with him, but he was kind of our connection to the plot movement with Gen V. It's fine. I like Patrick Schwarzenegger as Golden Boy, in the scenes we do have with him. Obviously, he does not long for the show. And yeah, ultimately, it's just fun to be with the Gen V world, and I'm very excited to see The Boys season 4. I'll be curious what connection to Gen V we get in The Boys season 4. I suspect we'll see something, but probably won't be too heavy of an involvement. But to have more characters we've come to know and get invested in this world, very fun. It's basically just an expansion of the ensemble, and I'm sure we're gonna lose some of these characters along the way. That much is pretty obvious. But yeah, shout out Gen V, successful first season. Happy it's continuing. But let me know, how'd you feel about Gen V season 1? Did you get hung up on the rapid plot movement and leaving behind the central concept the way I did? Did you not mind it? And for more TV reviews, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.